The Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, are part of a plan for global development adopted by most countries in the world. These goals guide national efforts to reduce inequality, provide healthcare and education, promote economic growth, tackle climate change, and much more. In sum, they should lead us to a better world. But there's a problem. Corruption. Corruption slows growth, increases poverty, and prevents effective climate action. It affects literally all SDGs. The good news, as part of SDG 16, world leaders have finally recognized that corruption is catastrophic for sustainable development. The bad news, they don't seem to understand that if we don't fight it consistently, a better world is impossible. So what can be done? Well, governments must take action now to fight all forms of corruption and money laundering and improve access to public information. The United Nations should require countries to report their anti-corruption progress under SDG 16 every year. Ultimately, all of us should demand that anti-corruption efforts must be prioritized across the SDGs so that all the targets can actually be achieved. Help us push world leaders to do more to fight corruption.
Puede que termines me traes el agua.
በየቀኑ 8,000 ሴት ልጆች ሀፍረተ ስጋ መገረዝ ይጋለጣሉ።
María. Abbate baka ambub.
What's she doing? She can't do that. This isn't in the script.
Somebody stop her.
She can't just leave me.
Brave girls everywhere are changing their stories. Stand with them. Join the Because I Am a Girl campaign.
Coronavirus is spreading fast and
Stay home.
Going up.
This is Ben. He looks healthy, right? So Ben hangs out with Zoe, who later meets up with Amy and Sam. The next day, Amy has brunch with Meg. And Sam goes to his nephew's birthday party. Turns out, Ben has coronavirus. And now, these people might too. In 1 month, Ben can pass the virus on to 144 people. And each of them could pass it on to another 144. This is how people die. So don't be like Ben. Stay home, stop the spread. It will save lives.
Don't you ever feel sad? Lean on me when times are bad. When the day comes and you're down in a river of trouble, you're about to drown.
Scalpel?
Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. If you get cold, I'll be your cover. You'll have to worry, 'cause I'm here. No need to suffer, because I'm near.
Scalpel?
Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on.
Are you Chinese?
Coronavirus is spreading fast and
Stay home!
Going up.
Bye.
India is polio-free. When we join hands, miracles happen.
Protecting children from polio has been Rotary's top priority since 1985. And since then, Rotary has helped to immunize more than 2.5 billion children worldwide, using its members' skills and passion to build awareness, fundraise, and encourage government support. More than 1 million Rotary members have volunteered their time and resources to help end polio. Due to the effort of Rotary and its partners, there has been a 99.9% reduction in polio cases, with only 22 reported cases in 2017 in just 2 countries. Polio immunizations have saved an estimated 16 million people from paralysis, and experts estimate a savings of $40 to $50 billion in global health costs within the next 20 years. Polio eradication will be one of history's greatest public health achievements, as only the second human disease to be eliminated from the world. Rotary is very close to making this a reality.
Sudan, Africa's largest country, is at a crucial and historical moment. In January 2011, the South will hold a long-awaited referendum to decide if the country remains united or splits. This year, I went there to document what may not seem like a dramatic emergency. But it was clear that even if there is no more regular bombings, the needs are still at emergency levels. Sudan is surrounded by 9 countries and the Red Sea. The south has 75% of Sudan's oil reserves, but it must pass through northern pipelines and ports to get to market. If the referendum results in partition, the border between the north and the south would become the world's newest international boundary. But much of that border is contested, including the oil-rich region of Abyei. The south is home to more than 8 million people from over 50 ethnic groups. 6 years after the war, 3/4 of them cannot access the basic healthcare, and the people I met there, they struggle to get food, water, shelter, and education. I visited many Médecins Sans Frontières clinics, and I got the feeling that people are way too used to suffering. As if it wasn't enough, inter-ethnic clashes, new militias and rebel groups like the LRA continue to destroy lives. With this insecurity and deep tensions between North and South, I could feel that in some areas the fear is increasing as the referendum approaches. Any more violence would be disastrous for people already living in emergency.
As a young girl, I couldn't imagine I would become a doctor. I am from a remote area in Kenya, and it wasn't obvious that I would get the opportunity to study. But with support from my family, I did. I traveled to local hospitals, which are difficult to reach. In Kenya, there's only one doctor for over 5,000 people. It's such a privilege to be part of AMREF Flying Doctors. As a specialized doctor, I give medical support to hospitals that are in need, especially in these remote areas. At the same time, we educate the local medical staff. During the visits, we try and see everyone because we know it took them much effort to get there. Sometimes they walk for hours. I'm most proud of the person I have become, able to help people from all these different communities. It is beautiful I can make a change in a person's life, old or young. Even when we don't speak the same language, I feel the appreciation in the sparkle in their eyes. But above all, I hope I can be a role model to the girls and boys who grew up in the remote areas like I did. That you can become a doctor, no matter where you come from. Dare to dream.
Let's be honest, the world can seem scary. Violence, poverty, disease, corruption, pollution. The problems just seem too overwhelming, too big. You are just one person, right? Not if you are a Rotarian. You are part of a club, part of a district, part of an international network of 1.2 million Rotarians in 35,000 clubs in 200 nations. This makes you part of the largest and most impactful service organization in the world. As Rotarians, you have roughly the same human power as the globe's most powerful militaries, with the added benefit of being woven into the fabric of your community. Rotary as a global organization connects you with a network of passionate community leaders focused on positive change through service and the four-way test. Rotary's 6 areas of focus strengthen that network into a powerful force for peace. So, what if we started thinking about Rotary as more than a collection of service clubs, and just started thinking of ourselves as a global peace-building force? What if together we wage peace? Just imagine Rotarians building a world beyond war. But first, some background. Did you know that we are living in the most peaceful period in human history? Wars are less common and kill less people. Violence against women and children is the lowest in history. Homicides have decreased dramatically in much of the world. Genocide and other civilian killings are less prevalent. The number of democracies is increasing every year, and human rights are recognized in much of the world as a cornerstone of basic governance. The world is not falling apart as the media might lead us to believe. In fact, measurable trends support the emergence of a global peace system that today rivals the global war system. Trends that led to the development of international institutions like the United Nations aimed at preventing war. Trends about the protection of civilians. Trends proving nonviolence is more effective than armed resistance. Trends toward the proliferation of peace education. Trends favoring the economics of peace over the economics of war. And trends leading to the flourishing of international law, treaties, and courts. So what if we changed our mindset as Rotarians to match the current realities, the current science? The good news is, Rotary already set us up for success with the 6 areas of focus. When you build economic opportunity for communities, Rotary builds peace. When you provide education where education is not available, Rotary builds peace. When you provide clean water and sanitary conditions, Rotary builds peace. When you improve on the health of women and children, Rotary builds peace. When you prevent and treat disease, Rotary builds peace. And when you focus specifically on peace and conflict prevention and resolution, as a cornerstone of your club's activities, Rotary directly builds peace. We are this close to ending polio, but what's next? For over 100 years, Rotarians have been advancing understanding, goodwill, and peace through their service work. Now, with the Peace Area of Focus and network of over 1,000 Rotary Peace Fellows, we're ready to take it to the next level. Peace building is about community building. We're ready to train leaders, including youth, to build peace and to prevent and mediate conflict. Convene people and resources to increase the peace-building impact of Rotary service projects in all areas of focus. Empower Rotarians everywhere to create sustainable peace building in communities and regions affected by conflict, and more. You are a Rotarian, and you build peace. This is your call to action. Start a peace committee in your club. Volunteer to be the peace chair for your district. It is a Rotary-supported position. Support the Rotary Peace Centers by recruiting qualified candidates. You can lead your club to engage in at least one service project annually that promotes nonviolence or raises understanding of the root causes of violence. You can start by joining a Rotarian Action Group. Through the Rotarian Action Group for Peace Hub MAP, you can connect with other Rotarians and peace committees. Tap into the expertise of our Global Peace Fellow alumni community through the new Peace Hub MAP. So, the world isn't that scary after all, because peace is you, and you are Rotary. Go wage peace.